Do y'all see these inches though? What up, what up? I am really gonna dive right into this video because it's gonna be chatty and long. Let's jump into these questions. A lot of you asked this. Do you still poop? Yes, probably more fluid than I ever did in my life. Emotions and everything still get stored away in our body, okay? So like think of things as really like energetically. I have been on water for like 2-3 days and still had bowel movements. So I'm sorry if I touch my hair a lot, just deal with me. There's no effort, it's really, really effortless. And also like if you ever do a fast, like water fast or smoothie fast or juice fast, whatever, a lot of times you're cleaning out things from days, let alone weeks ago. I know a lot of times we think we eat, poop, okay, it's gone. But not really, not all the time, especially depending on what you're consuming. I'm not even trying to press, you know, being vegan, but denser things are gonna take a while to digest. How long were you raw vegan before starting liquid fast? Thank you for this question because, man, I wanted to do raw, like I am raw vegan. Like if I am going to chew, it's gonna be raw, but I like didn't really get to be raw vegan. Like all together, probably just like a few months. But again, it was like pretty on and off. And I'm never really gonna super pressure myself to be like 100% anything. I think that's when that cortisol hormone comes in and I don't want that. The top of the year of 2019, last year, I was like, all right, I'm diving into this thing. And then I learned breathwork in February. So I pretty much, last year was mainly liquids. Probably like if I did a food chart or something, I don't know, it was probably like 75% liquids. The rest dived up, you know, divvied up into like raw and like probably like 5% cooked food. Somebody said, what do you eat then? Genuine question. Mainly I'm consuming smoothies, fruit smoothies, juices, raw soups, tea, water, what else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Coconut water. Did you have any fear living this lifestyle at first? No. Once I started doing it, no. So if you're not familiar at all, my brother is actually full on like liquidarian, breatharian. He was living this lifestyle first. And I think it just like intrigued me more than anything. I was just kind of like, wait, that's possible? I always say that my brother kind of like paves, like he tries something and paves the way, and then I'm like, all right, you let me know when that's good and then I'll join in. I don't know, I don't think I had a lot of fear in it. I think if anything, the only fear I had was detaching from food and social setting. And you know, we use food as such a buffer between two people all the time that I was like, okay, that buffer is not gonna be there anymore really. I mean, unless it's a smoothie, which is still a buffer, but yeah, how will I like be social and normal? How much prana can I get from breath? You get it in every breath right now. Even on these little inhales, even if they're not deep, you are inhaling prana. It is all around you. It is the chi, it is the energy that is vital. Breath work is just really being conscious of it and really having a buffet of it. Have you done enemas yet? I do enemas, not all, I shouldn't say all the time, but I have been doing enemas probably for the past, since I lived in Florida, I got into enemas. If you've never heard of an enema, don't sleep on yourself. Get an enema, they're $2 at CVS. And I myself, doing liquids, hello, hi, yes, have done enemas and things have still been cleaning out. So yeah. Would you ever consider sea moss? Yeah, I like sea moss. I've done it a few times. It's just not right now in my life. No reason for or against it. It's just not happening right now. Have you had any feeling of pressure in your head so far? Only one time, I think I vlogged about it. I had a day full of raw soup and I don't usually do avocado. Avocados are so mucus forming. I just felt that so much in my head. Like the next morning was like a hangover. I had a migraine. Yeah, other than that, no real like crazy pressures or anything in my head. I know you've had an occasional raw soup. Have you had any cooked soup? Yes, I have. And I know a lot of you are like, you just said you're raw vegan. Stop screaming. Everyone loves to do that. I'm over here only having liquids and people are still screaming like, you're not doing it all the way. Okay, look at yourself in the mirror. Whoa, relax, get off me. That has been like my social norm, I guess, when it came down to like an area where I was like, I do kind of want to consume something, I guess. Like when I went home to New Jersey, I had cooked soup. They've all been like very broth-like. How long do you see yourself going for? I don't really know. It's kind of a lifestyle. It's not to say I'll never chew again. Like I said, I don't like to ever say I'm 100% anything, but I don't know, I'm on 52. I'm kind of like, I could double this. Like, why not? Let's go for 100. Like last year, I probably did 50 days and I just didn't count it. Like this is the first time I'm just counting it and sharing it. But there were so many times that I was doing this last year and last summer and when I was just like really getting into breath work that I was doing this. I just didn't share it because I just wasn't sure. Like I wasn't in a place where I felt like I could answer these questions. How did you start liquid fasting? I want to start, but I start to miss chewing. Breath work, 100% breath work, breath work, breath work just kills that need. Breath work kills all needs and there's no better feeling than not needing. Think about it, like out of all feelings, The best feeling is to not need something. And chewing is really just like a frustration. Like think about it as like you're grinding your teeth. You're really just missing that void. So like, what are you frustrated about? What do you need to do that for? You're such an amazing solar being. Thanks. How long would you suggest doing a juice fast for a beginner? I want to stop saying, hey, do breath work, but I'm not going to. So do breath work. Challenge yourself for the next 2 days. And if you've never done breath work, book a breath session with me, but I'll have links down below for information. Challenge yourself for 2 days, 2 hours, commit to yourself over the next 2 days. That's it, just 2 hours. You probably mindlessly do 2 hours of other things all the time. So an hour each morning when you first wake up, no tea, no water, no coffee, nothing. Wake up and breathe, 30 minutes even, and then do 2 days without it and just see how different those days are. I always, I guess if I'm gonna say a actual number, 3 days. I used to fast, not to get super into it, but I used to just fast and get really caught up in the like number of like, oh my God, 3 days, I gotta make 3 days. Okay, this is day 2. Like really just get stuck into this physical realm. That's why like fasting just started to be like a way of life. It's not like I'm fasting for this amount of time. It's just like, I'm gonna fast today because there's no need for me to chew today. How many ounces do you drink a day? I have no idea. Some days more than others. It really just depends on what I'm consuming other than food. Everything is food. Some days it's literally just like probably a 16-ounce smoothie and then like some coconuts. And other days it's like 2 32-ounce smoothies. It really is all over the place. Biggest changes, have you felt any weird stuff? Biggest changes could be a whole video, and I actually have a video for that. I'm gonna just link that because I don't wanna rant, but it's changed my whole life. One thing I will say confidently since the beginning of this fast, this one particularly, because I've really just like gave my all to this time around, I have made money every single day that I have been fasting. Even if it is like $10, $2, whatever, I have made money every single day. And I'm full-time me, like C-Bud, entrepreneur, this is what I do. And it really just goes back to like the Tao Te Ching, if you're familiar at all, like give up everything up, basically, to receive everything. You know you a G, right? Shout out to you. But she also asked, what's been your experience detaching from the emotion essence of food? God, that could be a whole video. So much growth. I was really attached to food emotionally. And I think I still am. I think you really realize how much you still really are, even with smoothies. Even just, you know, it's still consuming, whether it's a solid or not. But in general, like knowing that all you need to do is breathe. It's really, really simple. Like knowing how simple things are, and we overcomplicate them so much. And it's like, wow, if you just took the time to take the time for 10 minutes even and just breathe from your belly, whole different type of vibe. It has been really, really shifting. That is the #1 word. Shifting and shedding. Those 2 words come to mind when I think of that experience. This need that everyone's like, oh, well, you can't live without food. You can't live without breathing. That has been such a shift. What made you do this? Breath work. Do you drink coffee? Someone also asked, why do you attempt this journey? Just, again, really just giving everything up to receive everything. And it just naturally happened. There was no like, I'm gonna do this because this. When you start to do breath work, it just makes sense. That's the only way I know how to put it. It's really, really just effortless. There's so much more mental clarity. I have so much more creativity than I've ever had in my life. It's like I don't even know what to do with it sometimes. No, I don't drink coffee. I never have though. Do you think breathing properly and doing juice only could help OCD? I've had it for 13 years, pretty bad. 110,000%. OCD just is your nervous system, and breath work is really getting in tune with your nervous system. Where your nervous system is at is where you're living and giving from. Notice any hair growth or thickness yet? It's growing so much. It has grown so much. Like, even since just December, growing. And it's just like non-stop. Can you give us an average day of recipes? I really can't, but today I haven't had anything. I've only had herbal tea. I did breath work for an hour. I had a herbal tea. It was sarsaparilla, black walnut, red clover, and milk thistle. That was today's concoction. Okay, yesterday, what did I have? Yes, lately I've been eating out, I'm not gonna lie. I was at this local smoothie chain that I go to a lot. So yesterday I had like a ½ gallon of green juice. I know that seems like, oh my God, that's so much, but like, that's all I'm having. So like I had that, and then I had one other 16-ounce, 24-ounce smoothie, just mangoes and strawberries. My smoothies are very, very simple. Less is so much more. That's the reason for all of this, but smoothie combinations and fruit combinations and soup, all of it, I really try to simplify as much as I can, because the more you like get into this pranic lifestyle, those food combinations you really, really feel. Like if I mix certain things that are not really good together in the body, I feel it. I'm sorry I don't really have like a specific for that, but I have a video up of like a day in the life of fasting with me, so maybe go watch that. What's been the most challenging aspect? Being social, I guess. But I actually, so proud of myself, went home recently to New Jersey and was with my family, and that was always the place where I broke fast. But I just feel so confident in this place right now. But initially, I guess the social aspect of it, of just people like, hey, let's go grab food. What was the most challenging food to let go of? Indian food. Yeah, for whatever reason, like right before I got into this big fast, Indian food was like my vice. Again, not raw. That was my one, like honestly guys, the one cooked meal that I always was having throughout 2019 was either like falafels, like Mediterranean food, or Indian food. That's it. Like there was really no other cooked food that tempted me like those two. Did you have hunger pains the first couple of days? No, those die when you do breath work. How do you keep your curves? So emotional weight is physical weight. Physical weight is emotional weight. Rewind that back and listen to it again. As much as I'm like happy to have the curves, it's still some emotional shedding that is, you know, there. It's not to say I'm like shaming my body. I'm not happy with it. I'm really, really happy with where my body is. Honestly, this is like the happiest I've been in this vessel in so long, and it feels so good. I have a video all about body image. I can also link that down below. And I actually weighed myself for the first time the other day, and I have not weighed myself in so long. Like I threw away my scale because body image. I am 145. The most I've ever been is 150. So I have shed 5 pounds. But it's weird because like people have told me like, wow, you look like you lost weight, and I put on like pants and stuff and they're like looser than they were. So I'm like, okay, I'm losing inches, but I'm not really losing weight. So this is really cool. Like inflammation is just, you know, dying. What is your fave smoothie combination? Ooh, I don't know. I think right now I'm in this blueberry and fig relationship. Blueberry and figs. Trust me, fam. Ways that you filled eating time. So like I was saying earlier, everything is food. Just everything. Like me making this right now, I'm creating. Riding my bike, cleaning, dancing. Music is a huge part of feeding. I get so full off of music. Having great conversations, taking a walk, painting, surrendering to the day, honestly. Do you take any vitamins or anything? I have always taken herbal supplements. I don't take any vitamins necessarily. I have been since I was like, damn, it's probably been like 10 years now. Maybe even 11. I have an older video about herbs. I'll link that down below. I also have a whole guide going over the herbs that I personally take now and how I take them and which ones I recommend for what, and whole healing highlights guide about all of this. So I'll link that down below too. Do you still feel your body in fasting mode, ketosis, or do the smoothies juices prevent that? Sometimes, yeah, it depends on that day and like what I had the day before and everything. Usually more so at night because I try to not consume too late. I'm not gonna sit here and act perfect and act like I never have smoothies at night, because I do. But I'll have like a shakiness to me. Like I can just feel that like my blood sugar is not where it usually was. So there's like that withdrawal feeling, but then I just do breath work and regulate the blood and we good. Do you consider smoothies a solid food? It still has all the fiber, just blended. No, I mean, I still would say that that's like a liquid compared to like the solids I was having and that most people have. Like I would still say a smoothie is a liquid. If you're into breath work, wouldn't air quality be utmost important to you? For sure. I don't live in the heart of Atlanta at all. I don't live in the city. Someone else also asked me that, like, why would you be in LA if breath work is what mattered? And I was like, who said I lived in LA? I live in Atlanta, or not even really in Atlanta, but I live close to Atlanta. And it's not to say I'm in the best air possible, but I'm definitely not in the worst, and I'm not in a city. So air quality is definitely important, and I definitely am more aware of it. Okay, we're almost done. I'm trying to not talk so much. Pregnancy and liquid diet. Follow her name. What's her name? I'm gonna pop it up on the screen. She actually had a total breatharian, liquidarian pregnancy and birth. I would go ask her more information about it because I personally have not walked in those shoes, and I would feel weird to give any advice about that. She is an example that it is possible. How do you start with breath work when you don't have much experience? You can book a breath session with me. Again, I'll have information down below and like links and just like info on how to do it and how to get started. But just prioritize it like it's your job, because your breath keeps you alive like it's its job, right? Like it's this vital thing that's like keeping you around. And so we never like give back to it as much as it gives back to us. So when you prioritize the breath, it really prioritizes you more. I don't know, man, just like wake up first thing in the morning, try to do 10 minutes. And I always say like music is really, really helpful for breath work. So like 2 songs, 10 minutes, 3 songs, 15 minutes, build, build, build. Be patient with yourself, trust the process, enjoy the phase that you're in. But just doing that and building on it each day, you will notice a change undeniably. What do you think hunger is? Oh, that could be a whole video. Wow, really great question, girl. Well, I'm gonna answer it for me personally. How about that? Just to make this short and sweet. Eating is an emotional experience. All of it is emotional. You don't need it, You can go days without sleeping, days without food. You can't go days without breathing. We don't need it as much as we think we need it. I know hearing that is like you're resisting it maybe, or you're like, I don't want to unlearn this fact that I've been taught all my life. But here I am, day 52, and yes, I'm still eating liquids, but I have not chewed food in 52 days or whatever it is. Once you cut out that void and really sit with like, okay, well, why was I about to do that? Taking even a minute of breath before you eat, you will probably be like, I'm not as hungry as I thought I was. Or you might be, but you will just be really aware of like where you're at. Man, I can say so much about that. But, because I know for me, like a lot of times growing up, I was rewarded with sugar. So sugar is very like a celebratory thing for me. Like if I got all A's in my report card, I was rewarded with candy. And so now I have this association with like, oh, I got everything done today, or I did what I had to do today. Like check things off. Now I can go celebrate. And so that was like a thing for me all the time. Like with food, it was a celebratory, habitual thing. And you just kind of become more aware of that. And what are some of your realizations or discoveries you've had through this period of no food? I kind of just answered that, but I think in general, just to like, I guess add on to it is just like how much, I don't want to say this with like in a judgmental tone, but just because like, who the fuck am I? But like just how much people do things out of habit and not out of true hunger or true need or anything. Cause I mean, like, again, I just said we don't really need these things. And even with smoothies or even with anything, like even water, it's just those little things. Like, I don't know if you've ever like walked in a room, right? And you're like, ooh, like this smoothie's good. And you're drinking a smoothie. And then somebody's like, ooh, can I get a sip? Or you take a sip of your water and then somebody next to you takes a sip of whatever they're drinking. And these ways that we're connected and kind of mirror each other literally. And it's like, you weren't even thirsty. You weren't even hungry. You didn't even want the smoothie. Like you just did it out of like just a habitual place to be included into whatever sensations I'm feeling. I don't know, it's just those little tiny things that I've really become aware of. Same thing, honestly, it used to still happen, but I used to be the other person. When I would like wake up and my mom was cooking breakfast or somebody was cooking something in general, it would make me like, ooh, I guess I should go eat. But I'm not hungry. I'm just doing it out of like, well, they're doing it, so I'm gonna do it. Like, it's so funny how connected we all are, I think, and just like how much energy is really everything. It really spreads. Are you gonna get back into solid food or stay liquidarian? And someone also asked, do you wanna be breatharian? We're all breatharian, fun fact. So I know like hearing that is like, whatever, you know what I mean. But no, seriously, like you can't do anything without breathing. You need air to watch this video. We're all breatharian. There's just levels of it, levels of awareness. I don't really like any of these levels. Like even with the word vegan, like I don't even like walking around saying like, hey, I'm vegan, because I'm like, I don't really, I mean, yeah, that. But I guess if I have to put myself in a comfortable box, it would be liquidarian right now. I think the thing is that is easy to happen with some people that maybe want to dive into liquidarian or fasting is this like fear of food. And then fear is just your ego. It's just a pride thing. Like fear and pride are one and the same really. So like, I never want to have this fear of food and give it that power of like, oh my God, I can't eat it because it's gonna do that. Like, I don't have a fear of food or solids. Do you experience the urge to eat solid foods, probe from thoughts of previous eating patterns? How do you keep yourself in this flow to overcome the past self in order to become this abundant? Breathwork, like I said, guys, it's no thinking. Like if you're thinking, you're not aware. Really simple. Like I know it's so simple that you're like, no, but how? Like, but this, like literally just breathe from your belly for an hour every day when you first wake up, and it'll just naturally be like, I don't really need these things. So I really don't have any urges. I don't have any cravings. Okay, two more. Do other healthy people's habits sometimes influence your own path food-wise? Yeah, I mean, I would be lying if I said no, because my brother has been like probably the biggest influence on me as far as all that goes. Last question, will you be dropping any books or audiobooks like your bro? No, probably not. Those exist. Go listen to his audiobooks. I'm like the female version of him, so like for me to do it would just be kind of silly. So I'll link his stuff down below, but his books are so like to the point. His books are like 13 pages. 100 pages. Like they're really just short, sweet, get you what you signed up for. If I had to choose one to say to listen to or read, I would say 2020 Tantra or Busted, a world full of nuts. Hope this video wasn't too long. Hope I answered all your questions. If you want a part 2, if I didn't answer something in this video that you're like, oh, I wish she talked about this, comment it down below. Maybe I'll make a part 2 or I'll just answer it right there in the comments. Just let me know if there's any further questions or anything you want to know. Again, if you're down to breathe with me, I'm down to breathe with you. I do video chat sessions if you're just curious about this lifestyle. I'm also hosting a retreat in Georgia, so if you're in Georgia or you are somehow able to get off work, write that thing off. Come hang out with me for 2 days in the mountains. I got a cabin. We're just doing breathing, we're doing fasting, we're doing nothing. It's gonna be amazing. We're just totally disconnecting to connect. Anyway, that's it. That is all. Thank you guys so much. I love you for all of the support. It's been like so much lately. My Patreon is going crazy. I just want to thank you guys too over there. Like, that love is so real. I can't believe that that exists. I love you guys. All right, I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.